Hello everyone! In this video I will be showing Cars characters as humans, specifically Lightning McQueen and Doc Hudson. I may try to draw others such as Mater or Sally in a future video perhaps. Now that I'm older, the first movie is my favorite because I really like the message behind it. It resonates with me personally. When I was little, of course, I liked the second movie more because I was a dumb kid who just liked action and nothing else. And so you put spice and cars, two of my favorite things in a movie, and I would gobble that shit up at that age. Because little kids do not comprehend the point about corporation greed and such. I think he would pose for photos like this for magazine covers or paparazzis and even though I made his smile look more awkward, because I imagine he's halfway through putting up his public persona. He has not put on his public persona yet. He's not ready for the photo, so his smile is a little awkward. Like, I'd imagine this is like one of those moments where he gets recognized in public and the fan is like, oh, can I take a photo with you? Oh my god, you're my queen, you're my idol, etc, etc. And he's like, oh yes, I was just getting dressed to go to the grocery store, but yeah, of course I will take a photo with you, etc, etc. His driver jacket was a must. I imagine he would love that jacket. He would go to the end of the yard for it. I gave him jeans and a shirt as well, and I will show you later how I colored them because I find that idea a bit funny. I also gave him sport shoes with his iconic lightning on them. Even though they may not look like proper sports shoes, I'm still learning to draw different types of shoes. Up ahead you will notice I tried to make his eyes look sassier, but they did not look right, so I gave up on that idea. I changed up his hairstyle because the original one just did not resonate with me. It just did not fit his character in my eyes, so I went with a spikier one, swept off to the sides and straighter to emphasize speed and mimic aerodynamic hair, literally. I also found a photo online with a very unique take on his hair. Holy. Rusty's, of course, the logo on the jacket. Here I was trying to draw a close-up of his face, but then I gave up because it did not end up the way I intended it and was not going in the direction I wanted it to go into. I just deleted it and decided to pull up this image of Lightning McQueen. This is probably the most marketed images of Lightning McQueen you can find online. Anyways, I used this to pick my colors from, and of course, I gave him a black shirt and bright blue jeans. Okay, you cannot tell me that this guy would wear anything in public or barely anything at all, other than black short sleeves shirts and black sleeveless shirts in summer and black long sleeved shirts or black turtlenecks in winter with like a belt and jeans, and that's it. He would probably look up to Johnny Bravo for inspiration when getting up and getting dressed, to be honest. This also reminds me of Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat, which is kind of on point because they're very American, if I must say. The American stereotype. Anyways, here I decided to rip up his jeans as well to emphasize that, oh, I'm a bad boy wannabe look, even though definitely he has no idea what he's in for when he's chasing his dream. But the fact that he has the courage to try is pretty inspiring, to be honest. Anyways, I tried to give his jacket a sort of glow to make it reflect light in a way, because one, it was shiny and I really tried to emphasize shininess with him. I legitimate every part of his outfit, even his teeth, even his lucky mark, even his hair glossy, everything was shiny about him other than his jeans. Because he would love the spotlight. He would love to get photographed. If you know the bit at the beginning where he's posing left and right for the paparazzi, like ka-chow, ka-chow. Yeah, he loves the spotlight. So of course he would try to shine as much as possible. I see that everybody in the community sort of mutually agreed that he would be a blondie, which I find very funny because there is no indication. He just gives off that vibe of blonde, blue-eyed fuck boy. What can I say? Here I was trying to draw the shine more accurately, even though I don't have much experience with this sort of fabric, so it might have ended up looking a bit wonky. I also realized that I forgot to give him fingerless gloves like I originally intended, as well as other details. But yes, if I post this on any other social media platform, the finished speed draw, let's say, maybe I will add the sleeves as well as Doc's glasses, because I forgot to give him glasses despite originally wanting to. But alas, the footage is already recorded and I cannot go back, and all I can do now is talk and do the voiceover and edit the video, and that's it. And that's how I'm gonna put it up on YouTube. So for Doc, I tried to give him a more stern look. I gave him his doctor coat, of course. About his glasses, I see that a lot of people have drawn him with square glasses on, which I definitely agree with, because it would probably be a thing that comes if either with age-related nearsightedness, either maybe he got injured somehow in his crash that left him unable to race anymore. And that's also why I gave him his cane, because I imagine not only because of old age, but also because of the crash that happened several years ago, his back must hurt as hell. I don't remember if that's mentioned in the movie, but alas. While Lightning lacks stability, and he lacks a place that he belongs to other than what he tells himself in his head, that he belongs to the racetrack, and that's it, and he has no home. He can just travel the world and not feel empty inside. And of course, we as humans know that is not technically true. You still need somewhere that you feel you belong to, and some support group. And Doc sort of teaches him that, because Doc knows very well that all that glory and all that stuff and the racing and everything, it is temporary. And it's a plot point that appears in Cars 3 as well, when Lightning ages up and has to finally let the newer generation take the lead when it comes to driving, and use his own experience to lead them, as well as Doc once led him. But okay, spoiler warning, but I assume you also already know the plot since you're here. In between Cars 1 and Cars 2, Doc dies. And it is only now that I have found out when researching this movie, that the reason they did not include Doc in Cars 2 was because Doc's original voice actor had died. And rest in peace. They definitely could not find a new Doc, because it would be pretty uncanny to have two separate voice actors for Doc. With this occasion, they kind of let Lightning fly free like a baby bird, because Doc had already given him the advice that he needed in the first movie, and Doc had already taught him his lesson. And in Cars 2, we see that he has already kind of learned the balance, because he does drive around the world. And the World Grand Prix, that's what the drivers do there. They race around the world, and he's in the top drivers in the world. Pretty much, he's living the dream. But it's nice how living the dream doesn't mean he has no place where he belongs to, because he knows that at the end of the day he can still return to Radiator Springs, because that's the lesson that the first movie taught him. And yeah, he's not even the main character in a way of the second movie. He's more of a side character, and the second movie follows Mater more. And even though it would have been nice to see Doc's reaction to Lightning's success and all, at the end of the day, parents and grandparents die and pass away, and there's nothing we can do about it. And even though he's not his literal parent, he had been a parental figure in a way for Lightning, or at least a mentor. He's very trustworthy mentor who kind of used his own experience to teach him about the rougher side of driving. And eventually it's gonna be McQueen's turn to teach Cruz Ramirez in the third movie, which I liked more than the second movie now that I'm older. Of course, if it were up to little me to decide, I would have definitely liked Cars 2 more. And now, when it comes to Lightning, I like how he evolves from the first movie to the third movie. It's a very nice thing that the writers did. They sort of learned from their mistakes in the second movie, which got a really bad rating, and they implemented storyline in the third movie that kind of continues that of the first movie, if that makes any sense, which they kind of omitted in the second movie, because they made it revolve around a different thing entirely. But in my opinion, it was still really creative. Okay, so do you remember the one bit where Mater is either hallucinating or having a nightmare? I don't remember. But he sees all these reflections of himself seen through other people's eyes, and they're all calling him a clown, basically, a fool. He's the fool. And that's the moment when he realizes his behavior has been inappropriate this whole time. And even though he thinks he's helping with his funny persona, not everybody appreciates it, and the reality kind of strikes him. Holy shit, that resonated with me a lot as a fellow clown, and I can definitely tell that all of you other clowns out there are feeling called out by that specific scene. But anyways, here's the finished speed paint. Yeah, you can tell me in the comments what you think could have been changed, or what do you think I could have done better. I am pleasantly surprised you stuck around until now. And until next time, please do not get into any car crashes, put on your seatbelt, and drive mindfully. Goodbye.